Cleopatra, one of the most famous figures in history, was the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. Her story is one of power, politics, romance, and tragedy. Born in 69 BCE, Cleopatra VII Philopator was a member of the Ptolemaic dynasty, a Greek family that had ruled Egypt since the time of Alexander the Great. Despite being of Macedonian Greek descent, Cleopatra embraced the Egyptian culture like no ruler before her, even learning to speak the Egyptian language, a rarity among the Ptolemies. Cleopatra ascended to the throne of Egypt at the tender age of 18 after the death of her father, Ptolemy XII. She initially co-ruled with her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, who was only 10 years old at the time. In accordance with Egyptian tradition, Cleopatra and her brother were married, but this arrangement was fraught with tension. Cleopatra was a strong-willed and intelligent ruler who sought to consolidate power for herself. Her brother, or rather his regents, challenged her authority, leading to a bitter civil war within the Ptolemaic court. During this period, Cleopatra fled to Syria, but returned with an army to reclaim her throne. It was at this juncture that she first encountered Julius Caesar, the Roman general who had come to Egypt in pursuit of his rival, Pompey the Great. Legend has it that Cleopatra had herself smuggled into Caesar's quarters, rolled up in a carpet, to plead her case. This bold and dramatic act succeeded in winning Caesar's support. Together, they defeated Ptolemy XIII in battle, and Cleopatra regained her throne, now co-ruling with another younger brother, Ptolemy XIV, though she remained the dominant figure. Cleopatra's relationship with Julius Caesar was more than just political. The two became lovers, and their union produced a son, Ptolemy XV, who was nicknamed Caesarion, meaning Little Caesar. Cleopatra visited Rome and lived there for some time, dazzling the Roman elite with her intelligence, charm, and regal presence. However, her time in Rome ended abruptly with the assassination of Caesar in 44 BCE. Fearing for her safety, Cleopatra returned to Egypt. After Caesar's death, Rome descended into chaos, with his assassins clashing against his supporters. This turmoil eventually led to the rise of the Second Triumvirate, composed of Mark Antony, Octavian, and Lepidus. Cleopatra found herself drawn into Roman politics once again, this time aligning with Mark Antony. Their meeting in Tarsus in 41 BCE is one of the most legendary episodes in her life. Cleopatra, ever the master of spectacle, arrived on a gilded barge adorned with luxurious decorations, dressed as the goddess Aphrodite. Her charm and charisma captivated Antony, and the two soon became lovers. Cleopatra and Mark Antony's relationship was not merely romantic, it was also a political alliance. Antony needed Cleopatra's wealth and military support in his struggle against Octavian, while Cleopatra sought to maintain her grip on power in Egypt and expand her influence. Together, they had 3 children, twins, Alexander Helios and Cleopatra Selene, and another son, Ptolemy Philadelphus. However, their union and ambitions provoked the wrath of Octavian, who painted Cleopatra as a foreign seductress and Antony as a traitor to Rome. The propaganda war between Octavian and Antony culminated in a military conflict. In 31 BCE, Octavian's forces decisively defeated Antony and Cleopatra at the Battle of Actium. Following this loss, Antony and Cleopatra fled back to Egypt. The end came swiftly. As Octavian's army advanced on Alexandria, Antony received false news that Cleopatra had died. Distraught, he fell on his sword, but did not die immediately. When he learned that Cleopatra was still alive, he was brought to her and died in her arms. Realizing that her defeat was inevitable and unwilling to be paraded as a trophy in Octavian's triumph, Cleopatra took her own life. According to tradition, she allowed an asp, a venomous snake, to bite her, though some historians suggest other methods of poisoning. With Cleopatra's death in 30 BCE, Egypt became a province of the Roman Empire. Her son Caesarion was executed by Octavian, effectively ending the Ptolemaic dynasty. However, Cleopatra's legacy endured. She has been immortalized in art, literature, and theater as a symbol of beauty, intelligence, and political acumen. Her life has inspired countless works, from Shakespeare's play Antony and Cleopatra to modern films and novels. Cleopatra's story is not just one of romance and drama. She was a skilled and shrewd ruler who sought to preserve Egypt's independence in the face of Roman expansion. She used her wit, charm, and strategic alliances to navigate a treacherous political landscape. Though her ultimate goal of securing her dynasty failed, she left an indelible mark on history as one of antiquity's most compelling and enigmatic figures.